If you were to revisit the piece now, I mean, if is a foolish word, but if you were to, would it change dramatically, or would you just tweak it? Do you think the story is sound? Would you maybe just the graphics with modern technology?
I think what I'd change would be that the graphic bits tended to deal with reference to Lifehouse. And Lifehouse was a much more sophisticated idea because it involved the idea of musical feedback, which of course now is a possibility. And I have to confess to this day, I still, I'm involved. There's a guy down in my studio as I speak who's working on music which has been generated by a computer, which has been put together by human data being fed into that computer. And we're hoping to get that up as an interface on the website so that people can do that. It's such a lovely idea. So it's one, in a sense, I'm still waiting for the technology to catch up. But no, I wouldn't change it. I think it ain't perfect, but no, I wouldn't change it because there's no need to change it. It doesn't really amount to very much. What it is a snapshot, a slice really, between two worlds. And what's interesting about Psycoderelict is that it's about celebrity and about the failure of celebrity, but it's also about the failure of rock and roll, as exemplified by people like me, to live up to its promise and its dreams. Not all of its promise and not all of its dreams, but to fail to live up to some of them. And the principal promises were, we are inventing something new, a new process which will lead to something higher, which will lead to a change in the world. And we didn't change anything. So it's that, what we changed was sexual mores, the length of people's hair. We did some good things and some bad things, but we didn't change the way the world structures. We still have war, So what I suppose was going on was that I was looking at the idea that power was shared between the artist and the thinker and the visionary and the journalists, the press. Now the press, I don't know whether journalists would agree with me, but I think journalists they're interested in facts. So when you're an artist, you're not interested in facts, you're interested in dreams, you're interested in things that really genuinely can't get proved. Like Barney was always saying to me, but you exaggerate, Pete, so much. And I'd say, well, I don't care whether the number's 60 million or 60 million, it's just something million. And he'd say, but it's very important, there's a big difference between 60 million and 600 million. I'd just say, not to me, I'm an artist. And it would infuriate him because he was a journalist, is a journalist. And so on the one side you have this empire of power base, Lord Rothermere used to own the Daily Express. I know now it's somebody else. It's Richard Desmond, who's much more of an ordinary bloke. But this huge power base, with this Rupert Murdoch power base, with Reuters involved, with banks involved, and now we have the world in which there's Russian billionaires, and in those days it was the Arabs who seemed to have all the cash. This huge oil-linked power, linked in with media and the soft sell and the soft stroke of Hollywood and the entertainment business in America, that somehow I felt caught in the middle, and we felt caught in the middle, all of us felt caught in the middle, and Psycoderelict attends to that. It attends to how can we take what it is that we want and take it back. And what's so interesting today is that when you look at where the internet is today in 2005, it's right on the verge of people using the internet to take control of their own entertainment and their own experience and their own exchanges. And as soon as they do it, the people that put the sites together and the people that put the systems together sell it for $2.5 billion or $20 billion or $30 billion. They buy a yacht and they go to the fucking south of France. Now, somewhere in this whole story is the hope that there is a Ray High who might come up with an idea and might follow it through and do something good with it. So, in a sense, the feeling that it was an exercise of power, dreams against, and what happens is that the really powerful one, the journalist, in the end, she wins. She wins. She gets Ray. She can make and break him anyway. She brings him back. She sends him a dirty picture, which is her. And she taunts him, and she gets him to fall in love with her, and then she dumps him, and then she controls him, and you know, and he's just an artist. He's like a child, really. And but he has the visions. She has the facts. And what he says at the end, where he says, you know, I knew all along. You know, actually, what Barney and I discussed this, we said, well, what does he know? You know, if he'd known all along, wouldn't he not have gone along with it? He didn't really know. But he thinks he knows everything. He has the arrogance of the artist. I know, I can see everything. I can see the future and I can see the past. That's how I function as a writer, you know. I'd never read it. I should have read it when I was a kid. I should have read On the Road by Jack Kerouac. Somehow it missed me. There's a scene in it where two guys, they're not taking drugs, they might be doing a bit of amphetamine, they might be drinking a bit of whiskey. Their game is to sit head to head and talk all night until one of them collapses. And that's what this is all about. You know, letting the idea grow and grow and grow and grow and grow until it kind of goes pop and you think, oh my God, ridiculous. You know?
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Pete.
Good.
Appreciate it.